Good afternoon, everyone. I, Bhushan Pawar, welcome you all on behalf of Shan Angar Kutch Engineering College, Mumbai, India. We at Sakek Research Cell would take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you present here today for this hybrid webinar series, Innovative and Emerging Technology in the Field of Research, in collaboration with all our partners. Today, I am addressing you to the webinar on Music Information Retrieval. The speaker for the webinar is Professor T.P. Vinuta. Professor T.P. Vinuta is the Electronics and HOD of Electronics and Telecommunication Department at SAKE. She has 8 years of industry experience and almost 20 years of teaching experience. Ma'am is a member of International Society of Music Information Retrieval, ISMR, WMR, Women in Music Information Retrieval. Team member of Comp Music Computational Models for Discovery of World Music. Team World Music. Member of ISCA, member of IETE, ISTE, ISCA. Ma'am also granted the copyright IP India for the article on short time signal analysis feature extraction in 2020. She has published several papers in various national and international journals and conferences. Ma'am also guided many UG and PG student projects, also conduct various workshops, given invited talks on in speech and music signal processing. Ma'am also served as a member of reviewer committee for IEEE Globecom 2016 and 17. So before handing to our speaker, I would like to make a note to my all participants that if you have any queries or if you want to ask any question to our speaker throughout the session, you can ask it via question and answer chat box. Most frequently asked question will be answered at the end of the talk. So I'm requesting ma'am to please share the content with us and start the webinar.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. I am pleased to present before you today the wonderful field of music information retrieval. Bhushan, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible. Yes, ma'am.
So music, yeah, you have heard it right. This is music information retrieval. We are retrieving information from the music signal, which is a recent and upcoming field. So when we hear the term music, we get excited. Yes, because it is an integral part of our lives. We have heard it. We sing music songs to as lullabies to babies, whether it is a party or a workout or relaxing or gathering. We prefer to play music. We prefer to be surrounded by music, irrespective of the language. Music is doesn't have any language. It is having its own language of feelings. So due to this enormous production and consumption at every stage, it is at increasing rate music is produced and also consumed. So there is a large demand for properly organizing this music, and so we need computational tools for organizing and picking up relevant information from these large collections of music. Whenever we tell that some music company, so many companies come into our mind. For example, this music streaming companies like Amazon Music, Apple Music, Pandora, Spotify, YouTube Music, and our own Indian Ghana, JioSavan, many. So what are all, this is not only that the music information retrieval field is not only having the task of music streaming, but so many others in its basket. Let us just peep into that. This music information retrieval it is an interdisciplinary area having many applications like identifying particular track, who is the singer, who may be the percussionist along with it, whether which genre it is, or in which year it is being, is concert being held, and all so many. And let us say, if at all we concentrate on particular aspects or the attributes of music, somebody may be interested in its harmony, or somebody may be interested in its melody. We will see the definitions a bit later. So this music information retrieval field encompasses the algorithms or the tasks by which we can extract automatic timbre extraction, or the automatic harmony progression, or categorization of music, are some systems which are involving separation of vocal and percussion, vocal and other instruments, and many more. So let us peep into this field. So what is music information retrieval as definition? So, and who, what are all the sub areas, or who all are involved in this? As I mentioned, it is a growing research field with many real world applications that involve people having exposure to musicology. You may be wondering why musicology? Yes, definitely. If at all we are engineers who are dealing with music, we should know the musicology behind it before we develop algorithm for it. So you have to, one has to discuss with musicians, peep into or study the music literature available of the particular genre of music, and attend the lab demos, and then only we get the feel of what is needed there in that music field, and what we can give as algorithm developing in that field. Particularly then if at all we are developing algorithms for it, signal processing, machine learning, neural network, and all are involved. And the recent field of cognition in music field, it involves psychoacoustics also. So where all these are, what are all the general applications that come under this MIR? So for example, let us say audio browsing. We are trying to search internet for particular track, and also if at all a very long track is there, whether we want to see hear a particular portion of it, and then we will decide whether to buy it or not. Yes, we have seen it in most of the commercial applications of that. So this involves audio browsing or audio summarization, and then structure analysis, tempo detection, meter analysis, and all. So this tempo is one, this musical aspect. So its detection is a task which is needed, and meter or the tala tracking is a field or itself research area in the music information retrieval. And other applications involving melody are, whenever particularly people hear that we are working in music information retrieval, that to Indian music, if at all we say, then naturally the query comes, is it raga recognition? Yes, that is one of the fields, which is one of the areas where the research is ongoing and which has been started in Indian music. First, almost many of them, they started with the raga recognition, but still it needs much of the things to be done there. And query by humming, whenever we want to, we may we want to hear a music or a particular track, but we don't remember the lyrics. Then what we do, we hum a song's just a beginning part, or the this mukda or something, and then we want to retrieve that song. Yes, that is also feasible. Shazam and our own applications have made it possible. Query by humming, singing evaluation. If at all this karaoke is a it has become the part and parcel of many parties or any gathering, and there the evaluation is also an interesting thing to check that at what level I am singing. If at all a song is coming which is being streamed this by Lata Mangeshkar or somebody, so then one participant may just want to see how well I can sing for that song, and you are being evaluated. Such applications are available. And genre identification. So in our world music, so we have so many genres: rock music, pop music, jazz, classical music, and within classical music there are many subcategories. So particularly identifying the genre is an application which is needed. Also, you might have is realize that whenever we are searching for a particular song and we play that, later we will be recommended the songs of similar type or from the same genre. So recommender systems are the need of the hour in music industry, are for consumers or music lovers. And then music transcription, why it is needed, that we will see a bit later in depth. But let us say a melodic this musical piece is there, to know what are the notes involved in it, that is the melody, or whether the beats involved in it or any other musical aspect of it. So that becomes the music transcription. And not only this, an amazing field of creating creating music just by electronically has picked up in a wide way, and it has been accepted by music lovers of many genres also. So this with so many applications, then what it involves as a first step, automatic extraction of the musically relevant attributes from the audio signal, which is a music signal, is very important component of all these applications. So then what are the attributes of music, are the aspects of music? Melody is the first thing that comes to our mind whenever we tell music. So it is, what is melody? Whenever we hear a song, we try to hum it. That humming is the monophonic pitch sequence that we represented instead of lyrics. That is the melody. And then only melody, whether it can make music? No, never. Along with that, rhythm comes. And what does this rhythm refers? It refers to all the musical time aspects that are involved in music. Whenever rhythm, we say that, so whether it is tempo, whether it is metrical cycle like tala in Indian music, or a simple beat, then it refers to rhythm. In this adjacent figure, you can see that this represents some musical piece which is having, we can see that some periodicity is there, or it is exhibiting rhythm in this. So then timbre, what does the timbre represent? The tonal quality of a music piece. Let us say we have a particular tune which is being played in different instruments like flute, violin, guitar, drum, or anything. So, but still we can feel that they are of same pitch, let us say, but still we can identify that they are from different instruments, or even a voice, the same fundamental frequency or the pitch. So then also we can identify, and that is the timbre or the sound quality, which is distinguishing characteristic of particular musical instrument. So music is a structured audio comprising the harmonious blend of these all musical elements, and particularly melody and rhythmic elements. Timbre comes naturally with it. So, and in Western music, harmony is another attribute, but in Indian music, comparatively harmonic component is not very prominent. So, when this, now coming to the technical things of this music information retrieval, music signal is a part or one category of audio signal. Audio signal comprises both speech, music, or some sounds in nature like birds chirping, or some natural sounds, or any sound. So this audio signal, as such, its frequency range is 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, and it is a slowly varying signal. It is not abrupt or instantaneously varying signal. It is a slowly varying signal. So its characteristics are fairly constant over a very short period of time. It can be between 5 to 100 milliseconds. If we consider it is constant, we can say the attributes, that is, or the electrical quantities like amplitude or its intensity, or any of these attributes that we just now saw, it can be considered to be constant within this small period of time. So its analysis also requires slightly different approach if we are considering it as a signal. What is that? Let us see. So first, for any of these music information retrieval tasks that we discussed, first step it involves is the feature extraction. So what is this feature extraction? Feature extraction intends to obtain a more convenient or more useful representation of the information carried by this signal, either enhancing or preserving particular information we are interested in. Let us say we want to work on melody, then we have to extract such features from the signal wherein melodic component is more prominent and other components are fairly, they are there, but we are more interested in the melody. Similarly for other aspects of the music. And just for the analogy, so I have listed out here the features of the speech signal and the features of the music signal. So whether it is intensity and loudness, because we are familiar with comparatively speech, so I'm just comparing these two, which are the categories of anyway audio signal. So intensity or loudness represent this in the speech is equivalent. These are the aspects: intensity, loudness, and then pitch and the spectral envelope in case of speech. But in music, as we have seen, pitch, rhythm, timbre, they all represent. Pitch particularly represents the melody, and percussion onsets are the tempo constitutes the rhythm. So in applications, as already we have seen this listed out the applications, but in speech, very few applications that I have listed out here: speech and speaker identification. And here also in music, we try to identify genre or the any of the other track identification and all. We can consider it as the analogic application. So as I told, music is an audio signal, and we require in the feature extraction step, the features can be in time domain or in the frequency domain. So we will dip into the two representations of this signal. So this is a pure tone of sine wave of 900 Hz. So when we represent this signal as waveform, we are seeing that sine wave of 900 Hz. And in frequency domain, we see a peak at 900 Hz. So because it is a simple tone of 900 Hz, we see only one peak. Let us say we have a signal of 3 tones. It is a composite signal of 3 pure tones mixed. I'll play again. We can see 3 peaks in the frequency domain or frequency domain representation. Here in the upper pane, what we are showing is the waveform with x-axis as the time axis and y-axis as the intensity of the signal. In the lower pane, and I have just plotted, we have just plotted the frequency in hertz in the x-axis and power spectral density in decibels in the y-axis. So here we can see 3 peaks. But the limitation of this representation in the frequency domain is that if at all we know that in this particular small clip, we know that these 3 frequencies are there. This clip doesn't have changing frequency. If that is changing, it will give the average effect, that is what are all the frequencies present, but it will not show at what time which frequency component is present. So we require a different representation for short time signal analysis. So that is short time Fourier transform or short time DFT, discrete Fourier transform we use for in signal processing. So this is short time DFT, and here we multiply the signal or we traverse the signal in time domain by a window of appropriate shape. Usually for speech and music analysis, we prefer Hamming or Hanning window, which is having the shape like this, and then it is of a particular hop and it is shifted throughout the audio signal, and within each window we see what are all the frequency components present in it, that will be taken out as this feature vector here, and again this window is shifted by a hop and taken the frequency components that are present in it. So the parameters of this becomes the window length and there's how many bins we are keeping, what is the resolution of in the frequency axis, and of course the this FFT size and all. So if we have such a representation, we will get two-dimensional picture. We will see in the next examples when we are seeing the case studies that representation of STFT. So to show one of the applications, I have picked music structure analysis, but I'm presenting the cases from Indian music, as I have worked on Hindustani music for my research area. So Hindustani classical music concert is a polyphonic music, we can see, because many types of signals are being produced here. Mainly the main artist, he or she may be a vocalist, or in some of the instrumental concerts, the main artist can be an instrumentalist. If it is a sitar concert, it is a sitar will be the primary instrument. If it is a sarod concert, it will be a primary instrument will be sarod. And along with that, drone is the melodic accompaniment which give a particular pitch reference for the singer. In Indian music, we call it as the Shruti. So the Tanpura is the drone accompaniment. We can see the percussion accompaniment tabla here, the drums which are in the Western music. So counterpart of it is the tabla in case of Hindustani music, which gives the rhythm accompaniment or the time reference for the music. And then melodic accompaniments are also there. This is another tanpura. These tanpuras are the drones, and then melodic accompaniment here is the harmonium which is being played. So as such, then the Hindustani music or the Indian classical music, whether it is Hindustani or Carnatic, we have two genres here in Indian classical music. One is Hindustani music, which is called as the North Indian music, and Carnatic music, which is the South Indian music. In both of these are polyphonic music, a structured polyphonic music, very rich and complex structure with its percussive and melodic accompaniments. So it is a challenge to extract the structure in this complex music. So here, usually in a classical music performance, a particular raga is picked up and musician presents this composition or the improvisation in a particular raga. As such, raga delineation is a process by which an artist presents a particular raga. Raga is the melodic mode of particular piece and within the metrical framework which is called as tala in case of Indian music. So what are these attributes of the melodic mode raga? So order of the notes, which is called as arrow and avaro, that is ascending scale, and the descending scale is the particularly mainly the identifying thing for a raga, but only that is not. And the characteristic phrases of particular raga. Those who know music, either musicians or music lovers, particular musical genre, they can identify a particular raga by its characteristic phrase, which is called as pakat or chalans in Hindustani music, and intonation of the particular phrases, how particular swara or a semitone is intoned, how it is being shaped by vocal cords or by instrument, that represents minutely or in a very microtone way, it will give out the representation of the raga. So, and some semitones will be of particular strength in a particular raga. In each raga, particular semitones will come more frequently and then they will be uttered in a particular fashion. In some of the ragas, some swaras may be uttered with strength, but in some ragas, to give a different emotion, some particular semitones may be uttered with this very melodic or very subtle way also, and also the duration with which it is taken. So these all establish which raga it is being played. So here, just for analysis, only one audio clip of Guru Bina Gyan by Pandit Bhimsen Joshi I have picked up. Short-term spectral analysis of this clip we will see. Initially, as a pre-processing step in most of our work, we have there's downsampled it to 16 kilohertz and convert it into mono channel from the stereo for the as a pre-processing step, and then manually I'll show in the next cycle. Manually, I have heard and marked the sub-cycle bits. Here, this is a audio clip by Pandit Bhimsen Joshi. I'll play this. If you observe this Mukda Guru Bina Gyan, in the Gyan is where the first beat of the Tala has come. This is of Teen Tal and it has 4 subcycles: Dadin Dinda, Dadin Dinda, Dadin Dinda, Dadin Dinda. So here I have marked as a first subcycle beat as Dha beat. So D, and then this S represents the first stroke of the Tala or the downbeat, we call it. So here 3 instances of the Mukda has come. We can see this is the spectrogram representation. This has been by the melodic extraction has been done. Here the plot is this extraction is done in IIT Bombay's melodic extraction tool, and otherwise also those who are interested in that field, they can try in Melodia from Sonic Visualizer, and many other tools are available. So here particularly we can see this track of Guru Bina Gyan, which is being shown in yellow and then boxed. This is the Guru Bina Gyan part. So this is the melody representation, and whatever I have marked here as a downbeat cycle and the sub-cycles of this represents the rhythmic representation. This lower part we have marked in Pratt audio analysis tool. So it is showing the beat, and then whatever the label I want to give to it or text I want to write, we can write it here in the lower pane. So this is the melody and rhythm representation of a small audio clip. Let us see the melodic part. So there's the basic tool of the melody representation is the pitch histogram. So I'll show the pitch histogram based analysis of the melody in this. So particularly this we started or we have seen into the ragas which are sharing the same scale, but they will differ in the way the swaras are intonated or the extent of the swaras or the probability of the swaras. So Rag Marwa and Rag Puriya, they are sharing the same scale. What is our hypothesis for this? Along with the probability of occurrence of the swara, position of the pitch of each swara can also be explored for the applications like raga recognition or the melodic motif identification or other things. So here the same audio clip, this has been analyzed with pitch histogram. Let us see what is pitch histogram. Pitch histogram is a statistical representation of the frequency of occurrence, that is number of times a particular note has come in a musical piece, and we show it as a pitch class distribution, that is the data representation of pitches within 12 bins where each bin represents one swara. So each swara is not a single frequency point, but it has little bit of domain in it. So that's why we will have some small width in the this pitch class representation. So this you can see swara, this Rag Marwa and Rag Puriya are sharing the same scale of Sa, Komal Ri, Ga, Ma, Da, Ni. So here Sa, Ri, Ga, Ma, Da, Ni is shown above the pitch class distribution or the pitch histogram. We can see what are all the characteristics we expect from this. So in Rag Marwa, Vadiswara is the most frequently occurring swara. It is Re, and Samvadiswara, it is the next most frequently occurring swara. It is Da. So whether they are occurring in such a way that we have to check, and also intonation or the way the swaras Re, Komal Re is, it is the distinguishing this semitone for Rag Marwa and Rag Puriya. In case of Rag Marwa, it is explicitly and brightly with strength it is represented, but in Rag Puriya it should be Ati Komal. So let us see that is whether that is there. Here we can see that the intonation of Swara Re is strong in case of Rag Marwa, which is represented in blue, and then in case of Puriya, it is very small. It is not so strong. It is almost along with the Sa, it is represented. A beautiful analogy that the musician and the scientist, Dr. Vishwa Kulkarni gave me when I approached him for characteristics of some of the ragas. He told us Rag Puriya Re is like a calf with its mother cow. It will be always clinging to Sarasa. So which is beautifully here also we can see that. So, and then after this Re, the Samvadi Swara Dha is next higher occurring. So this histogram representation will show the differentiation between these two ragas. Just we can hear the two songs, two audio clips in these two ragas. This is. So for this Rag Puriya, I think it is not being played. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, I could not play it. I think here I'm not able to see the audio of it. Okay, so observations are valid. Validated from this representation. The spread of Re in Puriya is more towards unlike the spread of Re in Marwa. So next, let us see the rhythmic structure. We have seen what is a small application of how the melody is. Now I will move into rhythmic structure, which is my favorite area as I am working in majorly rhythm. So as I told earlier, there's in the beginning of the talk, what is rhythm? All the time events that are pertaining to a musical piece, we can call it as the rhythm. In Indian music, we call it as laya. So there's tala or the cycles, that is the vistar, or how the pattern of beats, and then these all come into, and the fundamental unit of rhythm is the beat or the onset we say. So the pattern of these onsets form the rhythm. So how the rhythmic structure of a piece, musical piece is visually whether we can see, that is a very interesting thing to see. Let us see that. So for that, the first, if we go from bottom up approach, percussion onset detection is the first, or the onset detection is the first task which is which is required for rhythmic structure extraction. So here percussion, because whenever rhythm we tell, we as I told, first thing comes into our mind is tabla, the drum, or the percussive accompaniment, which is the explicit musical which is giving out as explicit music component. Then one interesting question that whether without this percussion instrument also whether it has a rhythm. That question we will postpone it a little and then get the answer later. But for this piece of analysis, here we are more concentrating on the explicit source of rhythm, that is the percussion, and what is an onset. So whenever a beat is there in the tabla or a drum or a sitar, a string stroke is there, or a syllable onset is there, it marks the beginning of the transient event, which is characterized by the sudden burst of energy or sudden change in some of the spectral characteristics of the signal, whether it is the spectrum of the signal or by the statistical properties. So we can bank on any of these, whether the change in energy or the change in the spectral content of the signal or the change in some of the statistical properties. If at all we want to capture the onset, that's what we have done. So percussion onset detection is an essential step in number of musical analysis and retrieval applications. So you will see it for the same audio clip of Guru Bina. So so here I have marked onsets of tabla in this small piece. here, just for the reference, I played it, but here I am not showing the 3 cycles. I'm showing a particular only 1 cycle of this so as to get the clarity or a small part of it. So here each tabla stroke is, we can see this is the spectrogram where the time axis, this horizontal axis is the time and vertical axis is the frequency, and above it is the waveform. Even in waveform, we can see that wherever the energy, wherever the tabla stroke is there, the energy has gone high, as we can see here in these vertical spikes. And in the spectrogram, the 2-dimensional representation, we can clearly see these dark spikes here, which represents the wide band event. Why we call it as a wide band? In time domain, it is occupying very small duration, but in frequency domain, its strength is high in almost all the bands. So that's why it is called a wide band event, which is like the white noise which we have in our communication signal. So here this is a wide band event, and tabla stroke is a wide band event, which is clearly we can see even whether it is feeble or strong as these vertical stripes in the spectrogram. And this is the ground truth annotation. If at all we have to evaluate any algorithm, we should have the ground truth, which is now I have marked this as each individual strokes we have to carefully here play it multiple times and then mark it precisely, zooming it out and all. So this is the way we mark the ground truth. And how to capture these onsets? Onset detection, so it involves the feature extraction, detection function, and post-processing. Detection function is where the energy rises. Adjacent frame difference, if we take the energy difference in adjacent frames, we have seen in short time Fourier transform that small windows are there. If we take the difference of the adjacent windows, we get the energy change, and wherever that energy change is there, we pick it. As a post-processing step, we do normalization and thresholding. So we get the onsets. These are all the derived onsets. So normal by the spectral flux. So one of the features can be the spectral flux or the subband energy. Here I have shown the spectral flux, which is showing spikes wherever the tabla strokes are there. And then green level, this representation shows the ground truth, which I have marked. So wherever the algorithm detected onset is there and which is matching with the marked ground truth, we have taken it as the true positive, and wherever extra onsets have come where the ground truth is not there, that is the false positive, and so we get the evaluation of this. So let us say, I asked you one question that whether a musical clip can have rhythm even if it doesn't have the percussion or the drum. Yes, when we sing, we sing with some time reference, but we may not be having a drum accompaniment. But in our classical music, Hindustani music, Drupad Okal Alap is a very beautiful rendition of melody without the explicit accompaniment of tabla. We can see here, here this has 3 sections, Alap, Jod and Jala. This Alap is not having drum accompaniment. So here this is the Alap free, which is devoid of any periodic pulse perception. So this here we can see that regular pulsation is there in the syllables they uttered. In Drupad Okal Alap, they use only the syllables Ra, Re, Ne, Tha, Di and all. So this is the faster version of it. Some audio clips may have still faster, that is the okay. So Jala is the pulsations accelerate here. Jod has regular perceptible pulsations. Let us see how we can extract the rhythmic structure. So the same onset detection we have to see, but here in Drupad Alap, as we are concentrating on the vocal signal, we can keep the vocal band only as our restriction, that is 300 Hertz to 3000 Hertz, and then the smooth differentiator, instead of just taking the adjacent frame difference, we go for higher order smooth differentiator to get the onsets. And by that, sorry. Hello, sorry. Is my slide visible, Bhushan?
Yes, ma'am.
But I think bit.
Yes, ma'am, it's working.
No, but it's not responding. PowerPoint is not responding. I got the message. Yeah, just 2 seconds. I think I clicked twice. So, okay. So here what happens is we can extract the onsets, and then the pattern of the by the time the slide will resume. So the pattern of the onsets represents the rhythm, which is being captured by the autocorrelation function ACF, which is nothing but the whatever the onsets are there, Bhushan, it is not changing, I think, slides, no?
Yes, ma'am. What you can do, you just stop sharing and share again.
Okay. Slide. Now slides are visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is the autocorrelation function. So when we take the autocorrelation, these are the onsets of in Alap, and we can see that there is no periodicity in the autocorrelation function. But in Jode, we can see these peaks, which represents the periodicity that is present in Jode. So because it is rhythmic. So periodicity represents rhythm. So Alap part is non-rhythmic and Jode part is rhythmic. In case of Jala, here the we can see that in Jode here which is rhythmic peaks are there, but in Jala these peaks are more frequent. So because it is more accelerated. So if we plot this autocorrelation function with for each frame, this keeping one besides other, we get this representation, which is amazing representation of the rhythm, which is called as the rhythmogram. So for the Drupad Alap of whatever I play now, this is the rhythmic representation. Clearly we can see that here there is no rhythm. Here Jode is having rhythm in type by due to this striations here, and Jala here this density has increased. Jala 2, which is faster, we can see the density of these white bands has increased. So this work we presented in the ICASP of Australia. So this next letter, the rhythm visualization. We have seen first the rhythm visualization in Khyal concerts as in Guru Bina by Pandit Bhimchen Joshi, particularly explicit rhythm representation by tabla. Next we saw rhythm representation of Drupad Jana, where the explicit tabla was not there. Now we will see the third category, wherein which is complex in the sense that Sarod and tabla both are there. This is in the instrumental concert of Sarod concert audio. Here you can see the concept structure, which is having Vistar, Laikari and tabla solo. What is Vistar? So first let us see what is Vistar. actually sarod or sitar plays only the melody of the composition. So here we have taken not the alap part, but the bandish part or the gat in instrumental concert, that is the composition. Just I'll play this. It is in Rag Bahar. The uniqueness of this type of music is the interplay of melody and percussion. Both are there. So, but from analysis point, it becomes complex. So here, actually, whenever the concert is there, this tabla is having the role of only percussion accompaniment. But in this tabla solo section, it overrides or it comes in the front and it establishes, it takes the lead. So that is the tabla solo part. And here you can see another interesting thing. Here the roles are interchanged. That is, tabla is playing the only one smoothly the thing, and sarod has taken over and becoming faster. So it has become rhythmic. Sarod is rhythmic here. Sarod is melodic here, and so these two things roles are interchanged in these two sections. So that's what I have listed here. We call the lie ratio of the percussion and the melody, which is 1:2 in the Vistar sections, which becomes 1:4 or 5 in of Laikari and becomes higher due to tabla becoming faster in tabla solo. Let us see how the same onset detection cannot be employed here, because both the tabla and tabla and the sitar or sarod is percussive in nature. So we went for a different algorithm. We captured the spectral content by this and then counted how many number of bins are energized in case of tabla and in case of sitar. As we see in the next plot, here for tabla it is dark, that is more energized than in sarod, that we banked on, and then we could pick up this as the onset detection function, which is tailored by us. So this onset detection function is picking up both the tabla and sitar fairly well. Here whichever are marked in red, they are the sarod this onsets, and which are marked in blue are this tabla onsets. And then what we did, the negative portion, you can observe that tabla strokes are only having this prominent negative portion and not the sarod. So if we deduct this negative portion, we get the tabla stream separately. And this wonderful task which led to two different representations for the same audio. This is the surface rhythmogram having both the tabla and the sarod, but this is the tabla rhythmogram having only the tabla. So two different representations of the same audio, which was very rare, and we can say that it was first of its kind or very rare kind in international music scenario also. So this is the actual musician annotation which was given for that piece. That is, here it is the Vistar, Laikari and tabla solo, and we could algorithmically get the same representation. So here I have shown mainly the rhythmic representation, two different representations, and we presented this work in New York ISMIR in 2016. So this was wonderfully appreciated there, and this is a very unique representation, and we could test this algorithm on many more sarod and sitar concerts. So in summary, what I wanted to tell here is onset detection one task, but depending on the musical genre, the acoustic feature we are looking for and the detection function we have slightly changed. As you can observe, this only if at all, I haven't shown the plot here, only sitar or sarod is there. We can go for only the spectral flux in full band, but for sitar or sarod and tabla is there, then we should count the bins in which energy rises. And if we want to capture the tabla, we can see 0 to 150 hertz and above 4000 hertz. But if we want to capture the vocal energy as in Drupadala, we can go for 300 to 300 hertz band. These bands are different. The way we capture is different for different genres. And then detection function can be just the adjacent frame difference or the biphasic filter, which is a smooth differentiator. So normalization and thresholding post-processing things are there for all. So these three cases will give us an insight into onset detection and the rhythmic structure of three different genres of Indian music. So then what does this music coming out of this case study into the broad area of MIR? Because today I'm talking about MIR. Otherwise, rhythm will go on and go on. So there's MIR research community. Where all it stands. So ISMIR is one of the International Society for Music Information Retrieval. ISMIR organizes conferences each year in different cities of different countries throughout the world. So it's a non-profit organization and its conferences are held annually in the music related data. So highly multidisciplinary because people from library, information sciences, computer science, music, musicology, economics, psychology, law, etc. They are presenting papers in ISMIR conferences. For those who are interested to just fit into ISMIR home and the mail, those who are interested to work in this field or know more about it, they can see this. So as each year ISMIR conference is held in different cities. In 2016, it was in New York, where we presented this sitar, sarod and tabla analysis work. And Comp Music is a group which was a research project which was funded by European Research Council, which went from 2011 to 2017, 5 years, which gave out many research things very valuable for music information retrieval or the music community. And they identified five different cultures of the culturally rich music traditions in the world. I'm very happy to tell that Indian music, which is both Hindustani and Carnatic, they are the two music traditions identified by Comp Music for the research, and then Beijing opera from China, and then Arab Andalusian music, and then Turkish music by Ottoman. These were the five music traditions. Identify them. Why this was needed? Most of the, even though MIR is a recent field, from last 19 to 20 years, majority of the research was this concentrated towards Western music. If at all we try to take them to here, many things we can directly take, but we have to change it according to the need of the genre. That's why this culturally rich music approach or the analysis approach was proposed by Comp Music and then very well taken. It is not only the publications, they gave many tools. For example, Dunia, which is a this Dunia, which comprises the music corpora and the related software tools. And then in Freesound, they uploaded many music. There's sounds of whether it is tanpura, simple audio clips of tabla, sitar, any instrument, many things which are needed for the database creation was uploaded. And so that as such it was very well taken up. So what those who are students or those who are very interested in this field, they can go through this some of the books I have listed out here. Fundamentals of Music Processing, that is audio analysis algorithms and applications by Springer. This is by Professor Müller of Erlangen University. Then Introduction to Audio Content Analysis by Valley Publications. Music Data Mining. So this and then Signal Processing Methods for Music Transcription by Klopuri. You can see that these all involve different fields: signal processing, data mining, and then audio signal analysis and all. So and then which are the courses that are available? Some of them I have listed out here. Audio signal processing course from Coursera, which is very nice, by Professor Xavier Serra of Comp Music and University Pampro Fabra of Spain. He has hosted it with Stanford. That is the Coursera course in audio signal processing. And then audio signal processing for music applications by Stanford Online, and Udemy has also given learn audio signal processing like engineers do. But within India, if at all one wants to do any research in PhD area, IIT Madras, IIT Bombay have given out some of the PhDs in this area, and then some of the universities already they have other universities. People in other universities within India are few are pursuing PhD in this area, and also many have started taking up BE projects or MTech projects in this amazing field. So if at all you have any queries, you can write to me in vinuta.p@saket.ac.in. So whether it is for final year projects or the internships, any this queries are something which I can give out to this field, I will be very happy to. And I think time is also up, and I thank Professor Dr. Bhavesh Patel, sir, that is our principal, for giving us this wonderful opportunity of international hybrid series of webinars, and then Research Cell for this platform for us to present this work. And that is any queries, if you have, you can ask.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for such a wonderful musical seminar. Ma'am, there are several questions asked by participants. One question is, you mentioned about the number of toolboxes. Can we extract many features blindly, then use the PCA and get our task done?
Yeah. Actually, yeah, right. This is a, see, I think this very good number of toolboxes are there for music information retrieval, whether it is in MATLAB or in Python. So not only and even MIR toolboxes are there. So then some of the people who want to start their work either not under proper guidance, or just they want to have the output or the research output publications very fast, they may think that, see, hundreds of features are available in this toolbox, let us apply all of this and then get whatever it is, some this PCA, that is we will apply and select which are the features prominent, and then go ahead with the publication or some results. No, we don't recommend such approach, because first you identify the task which you want to work on by discussing with musicians, or going through musical this literature, or through the web. You are knowing as a music lover or a music hearer, you will be knowing that which are the applications that are used in technology, and then which others are needed. List out that first, then you think of what are the features that may be required for that. If you want to work in melody or rhythm or the timbre, that may be the thing. So then you decide on the features which are pertaining to that. For particular tasks, sometimes melodic, rhythmic, and timbral features may be needed, all the three. But in that case also, which are pertaining to that genre you pick up and then work on it. That is the proper way of going ahead. Okay.
Ma'am, second question is, what is the relevance of machine learning in musical information retrieval?
Yeah, I mentioned that signal processing, music, there's machine learning are the areas, are the people from these areas work here. Signal processing, as we have seen in those example, feature extraction, for feature extraction we need signal processing. Later, let us say if you are taking the task of tabla stroke classification or drum stroke classification, we require classification. First we do feature extraction, and then we do classification either by SVM or by CART or by random forest and all. So even in the tabla strokes, each stroke, the category of the strokes can also be classified. So in that sense, we require machine learning.
Ma'am, third question is like, a neural network can bypass the explicit feature extraction and classification. So it is relevant to adopt it.
Yeah, recently many papers are there neural network. Sometimes there's some of the for some of the applications directly the spectrogram, MEL spectrogram will be given, and then from the neural network it is extracted. That is true, but what is recommended, and even Professor Xavier and Professor Muller and all in workshops also, they have also discussed, and what we have also felt is that first you try with handcrafted features for a particular track, and then you try neural network for that. Compare the result. Definitely you expect better this performance from the neural network, but when you do with handcrafted features and then go there, you will know what is the musical nature of that, what is the feature or the aspect, which aspect is prominent in which part of the signal, and then you apply neural network, then you can have a hold on the hidden layers or the there's say function, activation function, or what are the number of layers, and all other parameters are the hyper parameters which you can tune. So directly if you go, you may get sometimes blindly the result, but you will not have the proper control over the things. So it is advised, or it is recommended, that first you go by handcrafted features and the machine learning approach, and then you go for neural network.
Ma'am, one of the question is like, can you give me the more example of music information retrieval, like where it is used, like application, like that?
For example, as I told, there's audio summarization. Let us say audio summarization means our track, the Drupad Alap that I show is 40 minutes, and then Bandish along with the 30 minutes, the whole concept of one raga, sorry, one raga, it is more than 1 hour. Just a minute. So this more than 1 hour. So let us say if we, before buying the CD online or this, we want to hear a small portions of this, so that whether it may interest me, this concert or something, then we cannot play whole concert and then decide, well, shall I buy it or not. So what the web portals do is they will put summarized of this whole concept. Then what is that? Whether it is the beginning, end, or the between? No, they will cut. They will stitch the representative sections of this each of these section, and then stitch it together and then make the summary. That is the audio summary. How to do it manually? You hear it, you clip it, a small portion of each of this, and then audio tools are available, you stitch it. But instead of that, we can do it automatically by the audio browser application. So then that is one application as such. And also as far as melody, raga recognition or this, as I told, some phrases will be there which are representative of a particular raga. All the melodic motifs or those phrases are visually presented or picked wherever they are. So learner of that music can hear those and then see these are the example phrases where I have to intone in this way, or the representative of this. Other than scale, this also will help. Those are few applications.
Thank you very much for being with us, ma'am. Now, certificate will be presented to you as a token of appreciation from the Sakeg Research Cell. It will be displayed on your screen, ma'am. Thank you for being with us. Thank you,
Thank you.
attendees.
Yeah, thank you so much for all participants and the hosting research cell.